welcome everybody to the August 2024 imaging meeting. Tonight's topic is going to be one in a series of three. It's my way of doing a lot of things around here, taking the easy way out so that we can have a new topic each month ahead of time. So this is, I was discussing this with Naveen earlier. Uh, I thought we would like do a string of meetings about what pixel scale is versus the kind of camera sensor you have when it comes to the pixel size of the camera sensor, and then the optics that you're using. Okay, and that's what defines your pixel scale. So uh, to give a hypothetical situation is that say like you have two camera sensors. Both are physically the same size horizontally. Let's just say, oh, I don't know. Let's just make some numbers up here. Hopefully I can remember them, because I'm doing this right at the top of my head here. So let's just say they're 1,000 by 1,000 in size. The images it captures are 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels. So 1,000 by 1,000. Let's say that we have one camera that has a pixel size on the sensor, 4 microns. Okay, so that's a physical measurement, right? And then you have on the other 1,000 by 1,000 that has 2 micron uh, size pixels on it. So if we take the one by 1,000 by 1,000 4 micron camera sensor, and we put it into a f4 800 millimeter Newtonian. It's a very popular imaging Newtonian that you can find just about anywhere online, any of these major telescope distributors. Okay, so I don't have a calculator here in front of me, but you guys probably see where I'm going with this. So you have a 1,000 by 1,000 pixel sensor. Pixel sizes are 4 microns. You stick that into an 800 millimeter focal length telescope. Then you take, as the topic we're talking about tonight, you take the 2 micron one and you put it into a 400 millimeter telescope. Okay, so you have the focal lengths are halved, but the pixel sizes of the identical pixel arrays of 1,000 by 1,000 are inverse. Okay, or have been are inverted. Sort of, you get what I'm saying. So the pixel size, or excuse me, the pixel scale should be exactly the same. Let's see. I'm doing this all on the fly, so I apologize. But anyway, we were going to do this in 3 parts. But and that's what the point of tonight's meeting was. We just wanted to look at pixel scales of anything at 200 millimeters focal length or lower. So here's, I imagine there's better websites out here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. There's this website, it's just called astronomy .tools. Website here. You'll see it. Let's see. I can pull this up, and there's that. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're sharing. All right, so you see this website right here. Okay, I'm going to copy paste this into the chat. Or someone else can't. There it is. Okay. Anyway, there's the website that we're at right now. Yeah. Yeah, it is a calculator, smarty. So anyway, but here, let's see. Let's take. I come back to this website a lot. They have a visual mode. They have an imaging mode tonight. Obviously, we're going to look at the imaging mode, and they give you a catalog of images that these people have compiled into here. They have other images other than just the Messier objects, like from the new general catalog and was it IC index catalog? I think that's what that's called. Let's look at something that's pretty sizable. So Andromeda Galaxy. Okay, so M31 Andromeda Galaxy. All right, so we're gonna make up a let's see. So now we're talking about 200 millimeters or shorter, but let's just do our scenario that I was just talking about. We don't really care about aperture. I mean, that's sort of an afterthought here, but we'll make let's see, we'll make a custom camera resolution. We're going to do 1000 by 1000, 1000 by 1000. Okay, and pixel size for the 400, we decided to make it 2 micron. Okay, and so we'll add this to the field of view, and this is what you get. Okay, so Andromeda Galaxy is pretty huge. That's pretty much the reason why I chose this, just to show you how big it is, and also for tonight's topic, just to show you what cameras, sensor size and pixel size versus your focal length, all those factors put together, what kind of images you can possibly get. And some images that you may have taken may have been redundant because you would have had well, pixel sizes that would have pixel scales that would have been identical to older images that you may have taken of the same object. Okay, so here we go. This is a 400 millimeter telescope, right? And it's 1000 by 1000, and we made 2 micron by 2 micron. So I went ahead and added this to the field of view, and it's nice. It'll put this up here, letting you know what you've already put in here. So okay, so we're going to make we're going to put in another camera in here, okay, that's also 1000 by 1000, but this time it's 4 pixel size, 4 pixel size, but we're going to double the, what is it, focal length. So there you go. It's the same pixel scale, okay? So you have to measure like the strengths and weaknesses of these 2 scenarios. Okay, so and people feel free to jump in if I'm missing something here. But when you look at the parameters that you have going on here, everything's identical. Okay, the only thing that's different are the pixel sizes and the focal lengths. Okay. So what's kind of cool about this is that, well, I'm not going to talk about DAWs limit that's right here. The field of view will be the same, but what happens if you were to if you want to take an image of this object? Well, you probably would want to go with the faster optics if you want to collect photons faster, or if you want to keep your rig small, you could opt for the 400 millimeter telescope and the tinier pixeled camera sensor. Okay, so yeah, it's a long and drawn out explanation of what I'm trying to talk about here, but this is a really nice website, and I've used it lots and lots of times, and if I can't find, I mean, I like going here because it's really quick and quick and dirty way of looking at something that I want to make an image at the last, can't decide, but want to put something together at the last minute to go out in the image instead of like measuring it in stellarium or whatever. But if anybody else has any other useful, what do you call it, websites that have the same kind of I don't know, layout right here where you can enter a focal length, you can enter a camera sensors, particulars and whatnot. Yeah, feel free to speak up.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah,
I don't have a suggestion on the website, but one of the things I wanted to ask you on your discussion here that you just showed us, you didn't really address undersampled or oversampled, and you also didn't address, the effects of seeing and what our skies are like. So, using the 2 micron pixels might not be the best thing all the time, right?
Yeah, that's a very valid point, Mark. Of course, seeing is going to like really screw up any camera that has tiny pixels. Okay, so with that in mind, you probably would want to if you're going to use tiny pixels, and this is something I try to do with the only monocam I have these days that I use. It has 2.4 micron pixels, so they're very tiny. But I almost always use them with the camera lens, unless there's something I really want to get up close and personal. Like Mark said, I'm better off doing it on a night where the scene is a lot, kind of pristine because that 2.4 micron pixeled camera that I have. It's the ASI 183. I'm sure everybody's heard of it. I do use it at 600 millimeters sometimes, and that's something. Yeah, you do have to consider. So yeah, that's a good point. What was the other one that you mentioned, Mark? Not just seeing. It was something else. What did you say?
Um, the, I already forgot.
Undersampling, oversampling.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this
So
site, if I'm not mistaken, this site somewhere tells you if the pixels in your camera are a good match for the focal length of the scope you're using too, right? Is that on
um,
this site or is that somewhere else?
You get
yeah,
the pixel
I don't. I
scale.
never noticed it on here. Maybe I don't know.
There's right above the image, there's resolution, which is the pixel scale. You'd have to know. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Mark. There is a calculator for that.
Yep, it's
CCD suitability under
there you go.
calculators.
There you go.
Where are we?
The drop down in the top, calculators,
Oh, okay. There we go.
CCD suitability.
Just scroll down.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So we got, oh, I love that. Boy, it hurts. Okay.
They make it easy though. You don't have to do the math.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. All right. I never did pay attention to that. God, I've been coming to this thing for years and never noticed that.
Same here, Chris. I've never looked at that page, but I've used this probably 100 times, but never this particular tool. Looks awesome.
So you'll notice that this takes into account seeing and the telescope, the focal length, and the pixels too. So it kind of tells you whether or not you're wasting all those teeny tiny pixels because generally speaking, if you got longer focal length, you want a little bit bigger pixels.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And is the obverse true also, Mark, that if you have lower, so in the 200 and under, we therefore want the larger pixels or
So you want the
which way?
smaller pixels then.
Smaller pixels then, okay.
And that's what
yeah.
Chris said he was doing.
Yeah. So that the camera I'm talking about is called the ASI 183. But it's got pixels. I mainly got it mostly because I just wanted a huge sensor compared to my older CCD monocam. I just wanted another monocam that had tiny pixels. That way I can have that flexibility where I would use it with camera lenses. One, camera lenses are small and you can use them just about any kind of mount. And so it's kind of overkill using the AP900, but it's the only mount I have these days that I can trust for these like long exposures for narrowband imaging. But yeah, that's the biggest reason why I got it is that I'm going to use it a lot with camera lenses, and then also as Mark brought up, good nights of seeing. I did plan on trying to do good high res images at longer focal lengths, and so I haven't gotten beyond 600 with that. I don't think I ever will, but yeah.
So just to expand on that just a little bit, when I bought my ASI 294 camera, I use a Celestron 8, and so it's 8-inch f7, so 1400 millimeter focal length. I use that on that telescope sometimes, but I use the Genesis at 400 or 500 millimeters most of the time. And so my camera had pixels that would work pretty well on both of those. But when I drop down to a camera lens, you know, they're compromised, you know, in the fact that, you know, it needs to be sampled a little bit more than it is. So it gets a little blocky sometimes.
One of the things though to consider is to be dither, which means periodically moving the field of view by, you know, some number of pixels, 10, 20, whatever. You can then drizzle in processing where the processing will take each pixel and cut it into, if it's like a twofold 2x drizzle, it'll cut one pixel into 2x2. So you get 4 pixels, and then it'll use that for the stacking. So you can get back some detail. That's what I do with my Rokinon 135. Because yeah, Mark, I'm at almost 6 arc seconds for the resolution. It's pixel scale is kind of rough.
Well, cool, Naveen. So now you gave us a new topic to talk about. We have that ready next month.
Yeah.
And Chris, just briefly, you had asked about other things that people use in terms of the equipment and that kind of stuff, whatever. My Starry Nights program, I have the pro version or whatever. It just allows me to put in all my equipment, all my eyepieces, cameras, anything I have, and then can just, you know, and I have several sort of pre-selected, but it also allows me to build very quickly the one I'm using, and actually can lay out several at a time, so I can see kind of what the target is for the night, how much is going to be captured by the combination. It works out very nicely as I'm planning my evening to do it that way. So that's just been a program that I've been using for a while now that find very useful in that regard. But it definitely took a while to get all the, you know, especially because some of the stuff, the equipment itself was considered custom. So I had to build in by adding in the, you know, focal length and all that kind of stuff. But it's worked out really nicely to have that. So that's just another thing that I do as I'm, you know, getting set for deciding which kind of equipment I'm going to use that evening. So
Yeah. So yeah, I've done it with. Actually, I did it with. That was the first program I had was Starry Night, but God, that was a long time ago. That was, I don't know, 6 to 10 versions ago. I don't even know where that copy is anymore. I think it's I play it cheap, and I went with Stellarium. And Stellarium, what is it? Starry Night. It was a lot faster in Starry Night to set all that stuff up. In Stellarium, it was very well, obviously because it's free. It's clunky. It still is kind of clunky, but it's gotten more functionality these days than obviously the previous version. Sky Safari will also do that for you. I would recommend it on an iPad. Trying to do it on an iPhone or an Android phone, it's absolute. Yeah, it drives me nuts trying to do it on there because I was trying to do that with the Eclipse while we were traveling because I didn't even bring a laptop. I was just like, oh, I want to get some DSLR camera. Make this any harder than it needs to be. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, go out there. The Starry Night's good. Sky Safari and Stellarium are all great, and they have pretty much what this website is showing you right here. Anytime I don't have a planetarium program pulled up in front of me, and I just want something quick, I just go to this website. It answers
it's
all the
great.
questions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's like I don't really give a damn on how the framing is going to work or anything like that. I just go like, well, how well will this work on a particular object? And I just go here.
One of my very first meetings, Phyllis was doing a topic on software programs, those kind of things, and she basically made a really good point. Same way with equipment, whatever you're going to use, you know, whatever you get comfortable. That there's so many options and choices out there. It's just a matter of, you know, using a lot and getting comfortable with it. So that's one of the best pieces of advice I had received a long time back. So.
Well, yeah, I mean that was the first piece of advice I got from the guy at what was it, Northeast? Was it Northeastern or Northwestern? Hey, whatever that place, that old camera place was on Peace Street. when I bought my first telescope, he said, "Yeah, the best telescope's the one you're going to use." I'm like, "Okay, all right, yeah." So there went all my tax return money, but that's okay. Lost a lot more money later, so on this hobby. But okay, here, okay, so I'm going to show you some example. Look at everybody else's, but here, just kind of to go over this concept right here on the website. Let me go ahead and share the pictures I want to show tonight and kind of give you a demonstration of where my idea came about doing this series. So yeah, so tonight we're just going to look at images that are 200 millimeters or less. So here's a what is it? A mosaic I did using the ASI 183.
You're
It
not
is
sharing, Chris.
do what?
You're not
You're
sharing.
not sharing yet.
Oh, it's not going through. I thought I did that. Maybe. Hello. Huh. Odd. Okay, hold on. Sharing now, aren't I?
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, okay. This is a 4-panel mosaic I did, and I just gave up on it because I was like, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought because I wanted to do a mosaic of the entire Orion Nebula. I think every imager does that eventually. So this one's at 200 millimeters. You can kind of see right here, there's the seam of where I had lined up one of the panels in here. But there's 4 here, so you can just pretty much divide it in half lengthwise and height-wise, and that's basically what this thing boiled down to. It's just 4 images put together in one. But anyway, this was with the ASI 183M, the one I was just talking about. It has 2.4 micron pixels. And let me see here. Hold on one second. Is he going to let me do this or not?
Chris, I wasn't seeing your pointer before. When you get the chance, move it around.
Okay. All right. Can you see it now?
Where have you got it? Because I don't see it right off the
I
bat.
don't
It's,
either.
okay. I'm going to put it. Do you see the horse head? I got it on the horse head. Do you see it?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's
it's
just a little
tiny.
crosshair. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let me get this control area off of here. But okay, so anyway, yeah, 200 millimeters. It's a 4-panel mosaic, okay, and it's the ASI 183 with 2.4 micron pixels. Now, so what I decided to do is that, all right, so yeah, this looks nice. I'm going to quit processing here. I just need to get a shorter focal length lens because this is just going to take forever. So I went back, or later on, I got a 85 millimeter lens, and that's what this guy is right here. But this is only 3. Okay, so it's like 1 right here. Hopefully you can see my pointer. 1 right here, and then 1 like off to the side. Okay, so it's 3. All right. So this one obviously has been processed a lot better, and but this is a 85 millimeter. It's the same camera, ASI 183 at with that 2.4 micron pixels, and I don't know if I said the resolution yet or uh, uh, the number of pixels. It's 5400 by 3600 is pretty much what it comes out to be. So there's that one. Now this guy right here obviously looks very different from the other 2 right here. This was from the first CCD camera I ever got. And I had been using DSLR cameras for a while. I've been doing some planetary stuff in mono as well. And I was just like, well, I guess I'll take the leap forward and try out CCD cameras and see what I can do. And so I went out and got a ATIC or ATIC or something like that. ATIK. Is the name of is the name of the company, and it's a 400 series, 428 EX. So if anybody's familiar with the 400 series, they know that the 28, get this, is 2.8 megapixels. So this is a very small sensor right here. Okay. So unfortunately, when we were on the back talking about tiny pixels at a shorter focal length or large pixels at longer focal lengths, uh, it was kind of catch-22 with this sensor. It's like micron, or excuse me, the pixel sizes for these are like 4.5 microns, and I think it's 1900 by 1500 pixel array. So it's very low res, and the pixels are huge, and because the pixel, or excuse me, the sensor itself is so small, then I knew that if I'm going to take a picture of the horsehead nebula as I have here, I was going to need to, use a camera lens. It was like that was the only way of getting around it. And so anyway, so I showed you these, and what I'm getting at now, let's see, let me go. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so there's that. All right, now check this out right here. So what I did is I just made an image, and I copy pasted all the images that you just saw into this image as layers in Photoshop. If anybody's not familiar with Photoshop, as we use PixInsight a lot. All I did was I just took those three pictures that you just saw, and now they're layered. Okay, so the first one that we did look at is this guy right here. Okay, so I can move this around, I believe. Let me make sure. So what you're seeing right here is I can't fit it completely onto this frame. And the reason why that is the actual canvas size for this is 5400 by 3600. And the reason why I set it at that is the, again, the sensor size of the ASI 183 mm. So this gives you an idea of how I framed the mosaic. So it's kind of a neat way of looking at it. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. So I'm going to have some overlap, so it's not going to be perfect. So that's one, that's two, and then you go over here, pull this guy over here. That's three.
And Chris, when you're saying layering, did you manually layer, or you allowed the program, the Photoshop to do that for you?
Okay, if you're talking about the mosaic, I'm not going to go into detail about that. Okay, so
Oh,
this is
that's
the
what I was
mosaic.
asking. Yes, that's what I
Yeah,
was
this is
asking.
the mosaic we're looking at right now. Okay, and what I did is I just copy and pasted this into an image that's only what is it? One frame size of that mosaic. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, so this is four frames that were put together or stitched together for this mosaic. So that's what I'm trying to show here. Oops, all right. That's what I'm trying to show here. So like if this is the middle of the image, there's one quadrant right there. There's the
Oh
other
yeah, I get you. I
quadrant.
just was more curious when you said
Yeah.
that you layered them. I didn't know if you were allowing the program to do that, because some of the older school stuff, you had to literally go in there and move it yourself until they were overlapping.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is just this is just a proof of concept right here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is just keep in mind that what you're looking at here is an image that I created in Photoshop that I wanted to be 5400 by 3600, which is the size of the ASI 183
Right.
millimeter, or not millimeter, excuse me, mono camera. Okay. So I think it's 20 megapixels is what that comes out to be. But anyway, okay, so that's that one. All right. So now let's look at the this guy right here. You saw this picture earlier. This is the one that I went from 200 millimeters to 85 millimeters. So I was able to zoom out a little bit, if you will, and get a wider field of view, and it's 3. So there's one right here, and then one laying on its side next to it. So you go back here, take this off, and there it is right there. Now, you're maybe thinking to yourself, well, it looks like the whole thing fit. No, actually it didn't, okay? So, right, there we go. So the mosaic is still pretty sizable, okay? All right, so again, this is the field of view of one frame of coming from the ASI 183 mono, the 2.4 micron pixels. If you look over here, I've wrote them out here what the layers are. So this first one that you just saw, that was 200 millimeters. And that says ATIC. That's wrong. That's supposed to be ASI 183. So let me fix that. Yes, I 183. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, that's at 200. This is the same field of view, but at 85 millimeters, and it's only 3 panels. Now, here's where it gets kind of cool, right? So let's go back to the 200 millimeter one, right? Okay. So again, this may be a mosaic, but we'll just say that, all right, I went out and I took an image of the Horsehead Nebula using this camera and a 200 millimeter lens, and darn it, and I got this right here. Okay, now check this out. So if this is the ASI 183 mm using a 200 millimeter lens, and I go to that back to this image right here, and we look at the pixel scale of it, which has uh, uh, pixels that are double in size and a sensor that is much tinier. This is what I get. Let me drag them up here. That. Okay. So there you go. You have 2 at the same focal length going on here, right? But you have the sensor sizes are smaller. The sensor size of this one obviously is smaller, but the pixel size is bigger. So this just gives you a rough idea of what you can expect out of different cameras. And I mean, you look at this on your screen versus here, let me just take both of those off right there. You look at this on your screen versus this right here, you can tell that looks a lot better. And it goes back kind of to what Mark was referring to earlier, that yeah, we have, I guess in this case, we've undersampled because the pixels are like huge compared to the focal length. So, but anyway, so that just gives you the concept of what we're trying to discuss. Gives you an example of what we're trying to discuss here. So, but we'll just move on. So to move on to everybody else's images, I'll show you what I did with let's see, with this image right here. So I took the this image right here using the older CCD camera, and I actually had a long time ago before that, and I think it was in 2012, I had imaged a Horsehead Nebula using a DSLR camera, obviously in color. So I would use this as a luminance to accentuate the hydrogen alpha channel over the color data that I had gotten from the DSLR. And this is what I got right here. So, right there. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty nice. Now, I took the same color image, and when I bought the ASI 183, I was like, oh, this is great. The pixels are smaller, yet the array is much bigger than this one that I used. And so that must mean that I'll be able to resolve things a little better. And as Mark had warned, I did wait for it on good seeing, and I got this right here. So, a lot cleaner looking. So there's that right there. And I'm kind of cheating with the discussion right here because this was with a 500 millimeter. But I just wanted to show you what I eventually had done with those images as far as what pixel scale can do with different sensors and different focal lengths. But anyway, okay, so getting back to the subject at hand, 200 millimeters or shorter for a camera. Everybody's probably seen this before right here. I did this a long time ago. This is a 3 panel mosaic right here. I did this during lockdown. And I was like, okay. And actually, I started on this at the, lockdown was started somewhere in the month of March. At least for us, it was somewhere in the month of March. And so, yeah, I think it was the end of the month. Anyway, so I started on this, and this was in the constellation Cygnus, obviously. And so I had to wait a while for it to come up. But this is all 85 millimeters, and that's using the ASI 183. And each channel, so I did it 4 times. I think I did, I think I took 30 images of 10 minutes each. Okay. So what is that? 30, what is that? 5 hours, I guess, or something like that. But anyway, yeah. And so each final image of the panel, there's like 90 images built into it. So so that was pretty, yeah, it was pretty labor intensive, but then again, it was lockdown. Didn't really have much to do anyway, so could stay up as late as I wanted to. And but there's that one, and then continuing on. Let's see, what was it? Right here, I'm working on this one right now, and I think I'm going to just give up. But if you look back here on the other one, I saw this nebula right here. I cannot. It's an SH2 object, a Sharpless 2 catalog object. I can't remember what the name of it was. But what I found is that, okay, well, we have a little bit of emission there. We got a lot of dust going on here, and then you can barely see it right here. There's a planetary nebula. Then also we have a nice emission nebula right here. So it's like, okay, so let's take this at 200 millimeters. And so I took it at 200 millimeters, and this is what I was able to get. And this is a work in progress. In fact, I may not go any further with this. I think I'm just going to cut my losses and just focus on this nebula area right here that I was originally looking at in the first place. So anyways, questions? That's pretty much all I got to show. No? Okay. Let's see. Okay, who would like to go next?
I could share some. Chris, just for clarification, are we showing 200 millimeters or below, or comparison of
200
different?
millimeters and below, sorry.
Okay. I was prepared for both. I think this is the right one. All right, so this first one is a shot I took in Colorado with a 200 millimeter focal length camera lens and a modded DSLR. It's a mosaic from one horizon all the way to the other horizon. And
Wow.
it's really, really hard to see, but my wife said, make it a rainbow. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. So I did that. But it's neat. You can see all sorts of stuff. Andromeda pops up there. I assume you can see my cursor, and then Lagoon to give some reference points. So a lot of good stuff.
So this would have had to have been around the summer solstice?
This was September-ish. Wait, let me go see.
Okay. All right, well.
Yeah, September 24th.
Okay, I must not be thinking of the area of the night sky here. But that's pretty cool right there. Go back to the rainbow one.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if right there on the left side, closer to the right edge right there, I wonder if, is that a light dome or is that a zodiacal light?
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
That's probably a farm out in
Oh,
the
okay.
distance. That's the best I can figure. Because if you look on the other horizon, I think that's one of the major cities. It's whatever south of Denver. I'm blanking on names.
Another city I know of there is
Yeah.
Boulder.
No,
Colorado
Colorado
Springs.
Springs, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, because Fort Collins is north. So yeah, Colorado Springs.
Naveen, thanks for blocking on names. You just made us older folks feel much better.
I can't
Be
remember names
nice.
of anything. You notice I only picked 2 DSOs that I could easily pick out. All right, onward. So not the best picture, but this was a neat one with the same camera body and the Rokinon 135. I put it piggybacked on something. I can't remember what now. Might have been the C8. Oh, actually, no, this is the ASI 533 MC, sorry. Um, I think that's is that the Wizard Nebula? And you've got Crescent. And then, so as far as pixel scale, we've talked about that. So the Milky Way one is approximately 50 arc seconds per pixel. This is 6.8. So quite a big difference.
For people that don't use Astrovan, I mean, that thing, it calculates it for you once you enter all your details. So
Yep,
sure it is great.
yep. Um, I threw this one in just because I love it. Earthshine. I need to take some more pics of the same camera lens, the Rokinon 135 and the 533 MC.
Well, it looks very
Single,
Naveen-ish, you know what I mean? Because you have a little bit of what almost looks like dust there, even though we know that's a cloud.
yeah,
That would be
the-
kind of cool if you can get that with more clouds around it. That'd be neat.
yeah. This was out at Big Woods, I believe, like 5 in the morning, 4:43 in the morning.
Were you there by yourself?
I might have been. I don't remember. It's 2 years ago. I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. Come on.
Much less what's was it south of Colorado or yeah.
That was also 2 years ago. Come on. Um, this is the Rokinon and the Canon, modded Canon Rebel T2i, 2-panel Ophiuchi Cloud Complex. A lot of cool stuff going on in this particular region. If you haven't taken pictures of it, it's big and beautiful and low, unfortunately for us, low in the sky. And then the last one I wanted to bring up, it's like this is with narrowband filters, so Seagull and Thor's helmet, the Rokinon and the Agma AP26CC, which is a color. I believe I drizzled this guy. If we go down, yeah, so if you dither and drizzle, you can bring your pixel scale down effectively. And then I also got this in broadband, so you can mouse over and just see kind of what the difference is.
Oh wow.
I really like Thor's helmet. It's really cool.
Hmm.
I have been trying to get a good picture of it with my C8, and I just can't get the time, with no clouds. Yeah, it's really cool.
And being low.
Yeah, got to shoot it between 2 houses. It's short window.
Very good. Okay, who would like to go next? Nobody has any other images to show?
I guess I can go if nobody else
Okay.
wants to volunteer.
Let's see what you got.
All right, let me see. Okay, so I don't have too many um, short focal length lenses to use. So all the pictures I'm going to show tonight are going to be my Nikkor 180 millimeter f2.8. And so I shot this one. Golly, I shot this one back in 2015.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a really cold night, and the moon was hanging there just above the trees with Venus and Mars to its left. And so this is just with a straight DSLR, nothing fancy, a tenth of a second, I think. And let's see, we'll move on to the next.
I think I went to, that was when I was living close by and I kept on coming by and pestering you guys. But yeah, I went to, what is it, Memorial Park? Is that what it is? That's on Harrison?
Oh, over
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to get, because I think it had just been built actually. That monument that's there, that spire looking
The
thing.
Veterans Memorial Park, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to put it in the foreground, but yeah.
So
I
this
remember that.
lens wasn't built for a Canon camera, but I had an adapter for it. And as Dave was talking about earlier, focusing is a challenge.
Mhm.
So here's the next one. And
Yay.
what was that?
I said, yay. I
Oh,
remember.
yeah. Yep. This was back in 2020, NEOWISE on July the 10th, in the early morning hours. And it was kind of into the blue hour here. And so the sky was still, it was still lit, and we could still see stars. And this is like this is on my Canon T3i. So it had a little bit smaller pixels, so a little bit better resolution. And this was only like a single shot, 7/10 of a second long.
That's great.
What ISO did you use?
You know what? I didn't write that down, but I'm almost certain I probably used 800,
Mhm.
which is what I do pretty much all the time. And then finally, to repeat what Naveen was doing, this is the Rho-Ophiuchi cloud cluster with the same the same lens, the Nikon 180, but I was using my ASI 294 camera, the Astro camera this time. And so this was a stack of 34 by 60 second. And I was never happy with this picture before, but within the last 6 months or so, I got the the Russ Croman Blur Exterminator, and it helped a lot. It made the picture went from average at best to not too bad. And
Oh, I'd
Yeah.
put it well beyond not too bad, Mark. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
thank you.
That's
And
really nice.
this was had an astronomic CLS filter on it, so
Oh, okay.
like right up at Rho Ophiuchi. Does my pointer show? That's
Yeah,
Rho.
I see it.
That's Rho. So the filter kind of turns everything a teal blue,
Hmm.
and so I don't think the blues are super accurate in this picture, but it's still colorful and relatively pretty. But that's Antares and M4 in a row, and lots of
Where
other
did you take
good stuff.
this?
From my front yard.
So this isn't Gary. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Okay, that's what I had.
All right. Very good.
Let me unshare. Stop share. Okay.
Okay.
I do have one. Remember, I'm brand new with my DSLR, so the under 200 millimeter rule, came in. And let me see if I can figure out how to do this.
You gonna show us that one?
Can everybody see that?
Yeah. So what you did is you shared your your file manager screen. Share, if you double clicked it and the picture screen came up, you need to unshare and then share the picture. So unshare and go back to the sets of windows that you can share, and the one that you just double clicked on should be there.
So unshare and share again.
And hopefully you'll have the window for.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, very good. So what have we got here?
And this is in Cygnus.
It looks
This
like
is-
you start to see a little bit of Milky Way there, maybe.
Yes, I think that's exactly what it was. I just did, it's literally 4 frames at about 120 seconds. It's got the focal length was, I think, about 59 millimeters. I just used the zoom lens, so I just kind of got into a spot. This is with it did not have the filter on at all, Mark. So I had not tried it yet with the filter at this juncture. And the dark just took the old school and just threw it together in Affinity, and that's just a first attempt, as I'm and especially using the lower. I've got some others with higher focal lengths, but this was one of the first ones where I just tried that, and I think it's the focus. It took a long time to get to that focus, but I think I did okay with the focus.
Looks good from here.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not disappointed.
Good. And I took the other thing I did with it, and let me try to do what you just told me to do. Stop share. If this takes more than a second, I'll just. All right. So share again, you said. Share. No, I think it's just doing the same one. Yeah, I went ahead and just yes, I can't figure out which one it is, but all I did was I got a annotation of it so I could see all the different features and stuff as I was looking at it to begin to understand what I was able to see out there. So it's not coming up on the thing, but that's okay. But just another way to sort of play with it. But definitely having fun with the attempting to try a brand new thing here, and so I'll see if I make any progress with it.
Looks good.
Okay,
Small steps.
Just go back and do the same thing about another 60 times, and we'll be all
Yeah,
set.
that I understand. And and it was amazing using the just doing the darks and taking a look at the how many hot pixels were in this 15-year-old camera and the sensor. So, but it's a start.
So did you subtract the darks out?
Yes, I did,
Okay.
which allowed for the clarity. And then I used the Affinity Photo to take out some of the background extraction and made some adjustment on the levels and curves just to kind of play a little bit in terms of processing. But it was only 4 frames, so it's total of exposure was what's that, 8 minutes. So got a long way to go.
So after you annotated it, was there some fantastic DSO in there that you wish you'd gone longer?
Absolutely. I'm going to be heading into that world. You got it. So.
Do you have a fixed lens? Because I wasn't paying attention when you guys were talking amongst yourselves.
The pixel size on this is
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, a fixed lens, as in like a prime lens, just one.
I do have a fixed lens, yes. So you'd suggest maybe that instead of using or playing with the
Well, you can play with the zoom
The
one.
zoom?
It's like you get more aberrations from a zoom lens, and also
Okay.
you don't really if you want to do a longer focal length
right?
with a zoom lens, or if you're going to image something at the longest focal length of the zoom lens, you're only going to be able to get an f-stop it won't be that low. Let's just put it that
Okay.
way. So it's like, for example, a long time ago, I had I think it was like a 155 to 250 millimeter zoom lens.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to take pictures of, things out and about. This is a little bit before I was really getting serious with astrophotography. I mean, I had bought the actual camera for astrophotography, but I was just like, let me get a zoom lens for, other things. And yeah, yeah, when you would go to zoom fully to 250 millimeters, I think it could only go down to about f6. It won't let you go any, it won't let you open it wouldn't open up any further than that. So,
That makes sense because it only went to 5.6, but I know the lens is better than that, but that's as far as it would go.
now there are zoom lenses that do maintain their photo ratio going in
Okay.
and out are out there, but of course they're pretty damn expensive too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's one of the big drawbacks of zoom lenses is that, and some of the aberrations from the corners are a little bit worse, and at least in my opinion, they are.
Yeah.
And because I think I imaged with that zoom lens like maybe twice, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is great, whatever. So,
I'm going to try it next month or whenever we do the next session. I've got a 400 millimeter fixed that I'm looking forward to playing with.
oh, that
That
should be
I
fantastic.
used to do that for when I was doing a lot of the birding and nature photography. So I took Naveen's advice as far as I've already stopped it down a little bit, but I just haven't tried it on the new DSLR yet. So I'll see
How
what it.
far down have you gotten it?
I literally just played with it. Somebody's asked me that before. I don't pay attention to the numbers enough. I just know I stopped it down.
Okay,
Sorry.
just take my word for it, Chris.
So,
Okay, all right, very good, Dave.
thanks.
All right, anybody else have any images to share for the topic of the meeting 200 millimeters or less?
I have one. This is Don.
Okay, go for it, Tom.
All right. And let's see. Share. Did that come up?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is a pretty simple setup, just the my T3i, it's a full spectrum modified, and with an older classic lens, the 105 millimeter f2.5. I've stopped this down with an aperture stop to f3.5, and I found that f4 is probably the sweet spot. But anyway, this is in Auriga, and it's again 105 millimeter telephoto. It's 38 90-second exposures. That's for 57 minutes, so it's not a lot of time. But the thing is it's a simple setup, so you're going to get you can't dither. I mean, there's no guiding or anything. So, and I had to manipulate to get it to even look the way it does, and you can see M38, M36, and I can't figure out which these nebulas are. I'm looking at my Sky Atlas, and I I don't know which one is IC 417, and I'm not sure. There's a little one over on the left that I don't know what that one is. It's
Is
not
that
even.
a planetary or?
I thought it was IC 2210, but according that should be somewhere up where, towards the top of the spring, almost in line with the two uh, globular clusters or
I
open
feel like
clusters.
the field of view that you have there, it may be flipped.
That's what I'm saying. It could be flipped, and it could be also, what's the other thing? Flipped and inverted or something or other. It's
Well,
kind
it's
of
just through
weird.
a
Yeah, I
camera
think
lens.
I think it's flipped. It's mirrored is what it is. I think it's
Yeah.
mirrored.
Yeah.
Hey, Don,
Yes.
there's an easy way for, when you get a few minutes, just send this picture to astrometry.net,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll come back and it'll circle each one of those things and tell you what it is.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, yes, and
Yeah, I'm
and
curious to know what that bright spot is too. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, and just typical, when you zoom in on this, you start to see the color smear. I try to get rid of it, and the stars are. It's kind of like I artificially kind of manipulated them to get them to look and that. And I did do some processing in Starless in StarNet or whatever it is, and then combined again. It helps because it's just a huge number of stars in this. And yeah, but yeah, this was taken about 2 years ago in November 2022.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's it. And let's see, I need to unshare this, right? Stop share. Mhm.
Okay. Anybody else? Any images with the topic? No? Okay, well, yeah, we went over pretty far here. Does anybody have any images they want to share since we've uh since we last met last month? As in like the topic's over with, we're showing you images that we've taken since last month. Mhm.
Anybody gotten enough time to take any pictures with this
I
weather?
I
I've
haven't.
I've been in the middle of the night and gotten a couple hours here and there, so but I don't know if there's anything share worthy.
I have one. I mean, I could share.
All right, let's see it.
Is
Alrighty.
this
And
going to be first light on your new system?
no, no.
Oh, man.
But let's see. And
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, this is taken from my backyard of M13.
Pretty.
And
Good.
I was able to get the peace sign or the propeller, and that there's a kind of a compromise in your sub exposure lengths, so you can overexpose that and lose it. And this is taken with the 533 my 90 millimeter Stellamira refractor. And I
Oh,
went,
so it was your new system then.
it is, yes, yeah. And I got the test on it was they do the simple test. It came in at 0.983, so it's a good one. So I'm happy about that. And this represents 78 90-second exposures.
Don, can you zoom in a little bit?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I can see the propeller
well.
now.
Pellet varies very easily, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting thing I was reading that this galaxy right here, where I'm pointing,
Yeah,
that's 500 million light years away.
absolutely. Wow.
And yeah. And I have one more quickly. Let's see. Here, yeah, getting the hang of this. I showed this before. This is what early when I first got the scope taken in June. Um, I enlarged it a little bit more, darkened the background, and did a DCP dehaze on it to get a little bit more detail in M63. And this is 63-minute exposures with the same setup. And this was taken up at the gun club. And
So I don't know if you're sharing right now.
oh, you don't see it?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, what do I do here now? I'm talking and geez.
I did that earlier, so
As did I.
Yeah. What do I do to get back out of here? Yeah,
It doesn't look like you're sharing anything, Don.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to get back to okay. Okay. Uh, let me try this again. Okay, I see what I did. Now you see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
very
Sorry
nice.
about that. Yeah, I'm picking up what to do with this system and that. And yeah, I was able to enlarge it a little bit more because I'm talking 540 millimeters focal length and the sensor's 11.3 by 11.3 at 3.76 micron. And I guess the atmosphere was pretty good. I mean, although there were times where there were clouds rolling in and some problem, but I mean, if you zoom in on it, there's for the focal length, there's a bit of detail in the
Mm-hmm.
in the galaxy. So I guess I got a little lucky in that. But yeah, I guess I'm happy with the setup and that. And yeah, and I'll stop share and yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Iris Nebula from 2 nights ago.
Ah, yeah, I want to
Jared,
get
you
back
got it
on
right
it.
now? Okay, very good.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you see that?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was about 2 hours worth 2 nights ago.
Okay.
And I'm that crazy middle of the night person or retired, so just when I know the sky's going to be good, I get out there.
Mhm.
And it was definitely because the seeing wasn't good, the transparent wasn't good, but when you do I cut down the exposure length and went more with 30-second ones. I go more towards the 2 minute range, and just did a ton of them, like 230 or 240 of them. But it actually came out pretty nice.
What's your Bortle sky?
I'm a 6.5.
Okay.
Wow.
But again, with the shorter exposure and just playing a little bit with some of the processing, use the background extraction and the affinity, the version 2 that we just both picked up, Mark, just to back it off a little bit, and then a couple different tools in SharpCap that do simple offset for background removal and a few different things on the settings. But it actually, I was actually pretty happy with it.
Came out well.
Yeah.
Did you say 30-second exposures?
30-second I went this time because of the combination of the nearly full moon and the light pollution.
Oh, okay. That explains it. Okay. All right. Yeah. The moon. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I
the
get it
moon
now.
was out there.
Yeah, it was they didn't say Bortle 6.5. Well, oh, the moon. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
So
Nice.
anyway, there was just one recent one, that's all. And that was with my the 102 Explore Scientific, and it was just really sweet that night in terms of all the polar alignment that I was going to say. I didn't do any guiding, any of those kind of things, because I get very little drift alignment over the period of time. But I spend a fair amount of time with the polar alignment before I start. So there you go.
Very good. Okay. I guess that's it, unless anybody else has any other images to share. So the next meeting we're going to go from we did 200 millimeters, so we'll do I don't know, we'll just throw it up another 300, so another 100. So we'll start at 300 and go to I don't know, 800. There we go. Nice round 500 millimeters. Okay. So yeah, the next one we'll do, we'll look at images at 300 to 800 millimeters. And again, just like looking at the differences in pixel sizes, sensor sizes, and telescope focal lengths and whatnot. And get an idea of what pixel scale is all about, or seconds per pixel. And also, another thing too, this will be, so that'll be next month, that'll be September. October is when we go over the results of our next target challenge. And the target challenge that I handed out was supernova remnant. So go out and image a supernova remnant. Of course, the two easiest ones right now, like I said last month, are the Veiled Nebula complex and what is it? Progressive Nebula. Those are probably the ones that come to mind. But it's not necessarily meant for constellations that are up as soon as the sun goes down. If you want to wait until the wee hours to go after something that comes up around early winter time, hey, go for it. So, but yeah, that's the next target challenge. That'll be supernova remnants, and that's October. So next month we'll do middle focal lengths. October we'll do the target challenge supernova, and then November we'll do the long focal length imaging for our seconds per pixel and just like look at that kind of stuff. So one thing that's kind of nice about that one, to throw it in there to kind of mix it up, because you don't really do it that much here, mostly because like we've talked about in the meeting, seeing can be an issue. With the long focal length imaging meeting, we'll also look at planets too. So as use tiny cameras and very long focal lengths to image the planets and whatnot. So, anyways, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. And then of course in December we won't have an imaging meeting. It'll just be combined with the annual imaging showcase and that we do in December. So there you go. Yay! Got all the topics laid out for the rest of the year.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, you're welcome, man. You guys have a good night, okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
take
hey,
care.
Chris,
Yes, what's up?
I think I've been racking my brain the whole meeting. Was Dave Keller the name you were trying to come up with?
Yeah, David Keller, that's the guy.
Okay,
It's him and him and Fulbright. They were making fun of this one guy who was wanting to going through that same scenario right there. And it's like, why are you doing that to yourself? Just use the simpler setup. Smaller pixels and shorter focal length, and the field of view is going to be exactly the same. So, yeah. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, David Keller. Yeah, he was a great guy. I wonder what he's up to these days.
who knows?
Yeah.
Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.